Oh?
I think we should enroll in Union Fidelity's Guaranteed Life Plus. It's an insurance plan for folks age 45 to 74 that guarantees...
USA.
Yes, Mr. Whitney, you heard correctly. It's your old friend from Paris, Collier Wells. I trust you remember me.
Oh, yes, Mr. Wells. I remember you quite well. Get inside, get another line in the kitchen. Call the police, have them trace this call. It's the burglar who robbed my house. Yes, Mr. Wells, let's see. If memory serves, you and I struck rather an interesting deal in Paris. Must have been, 2 years ago or so?
2 years. Good heavens, it doesn't seem possible, does it? My, how time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
It's no use, Mr. Whitney. I know you're going to try to have this phone call traced. People try to do it all the time. It's not that easy. I know from experience.
Oh, yes, I imagine in your line of business, you would have to know things like that.
Quite so.
Well, there must be some reason for your call at this time.
My, it almost slipped my mind amidst all this amusement. I'm calling to tell you that I'm going to leave a very important message for you this morning with the Chief of Police.
Spencer. Spencer!
Sorry, Mr. Whitney, but...
Yeah, I know. He wasn't on long enough to trace it. It probably wouldn't have worked anyway. Thank you, Spencer.
This is a good one, mister. You should read this one.
No thanks, Benny. I don't know why they call them comic books anyway. I never thought they were very funny, even as a kid.
No, this one's different. This is about a guy who gets caught in a cement mixer and
Gavin, I have to talk to you right now.
Now, Joy, did you get the money?
Yes, but what I have to tell you about has nothing to do with money. It has to do with time.
What?
Yes, I just heard something very strange from Martine. It's about Skyler Whitney's watch.
Benny, why don't you, go out and get us something to eat? A couple of sandwiches would be nice.
You trying to get rid of me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Gavin, I don't know what any of this
No, hold
means.
on, Jody. Just come down, huh? You came in here 3 feet off the ground. Now sit down and tell the story from the beginning.
Well, when I went to see Martine, she told me a lot of things. I mean, one of the first things she said was that Collier Wells is in Monticello.
Martine's husband? Back in Monticello? He must be crazy. He's really taking a chance. He's wanted by the police in this country and half a dozen others.
Well, Martine says he is taking a chance, a very big chance, but he just doesn't care. Gavin, I swore to Martine that I wouldn't give Collier away. But I suppose I could tell you this. I mean, I know she wouldn't mind.
I don't understand, honey. Tell me what.
Collier committed a crime right here in Monticello. Now, I know you're not going to believe this, but last night he robbed Skyler Whitney's house.
Robbed Sky's house? You're
Now,
kidding.
wait, there's more. The important thing in this is the watch. The watch was among the things that he stole, Gavin. Martine saw it.
We'll watch.
Well, that day, that awful day at the studio, when I was there alone with Gunther, he had this watch that he kept gloating over, and he showed it to me.
Oh, you're wasting time, honey. Well, we could have had a lot of fun together, you and me. Now look at the time. The evening's gonna get away from us, sugar. Oh, by the way, how do you like my new watch, huh? Oh, but you can hear it, can't you? Yeah, it's a pretty little tune, isn't it? It plays every time you open the case. Oh, it's got my initials in it, too. Want to see? Huh? Well, go ahead. Take a look at it. It's an antique, a genuine antique. Mr. Whitney, he gave it to me as a token of his esteem for my devoted loyalty. Yeah, look, see? It's got his initials in it, too. I guess that shows just how close we are, me and the boss. Yeah, you'd be surprised how close we are. You know, some people can't tell the difference between the employer and the employee.
I'll never forget that moment as long as I live. Or that watch.
So what you're saying is that Martine spotted the watch among the loot the Collier stole from Sky?
Yes. And Collier found it in the bedroom. But how could it be there when Gunther had it? I saw it in his hand myself.
I don't know. I'm sure it's something simple enough. Sky probably reclaimed it from Gunther after he died. Gunther probably swiped it from Sky, and Sky just took it back. That's all. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't understand it, Gavin. It has to mean something. But how do we find out what it means?
Glum is the word for the mood at this table. Glum, why are you two so down?
Who's down? I feel great. I just can't keep my eyes open, that's all. I went to the opening of the Whitney Dance Company last night. Oh, yeah, right. I came here first. And I didn't get to bed until 4 o'clock.
So you are the reason that Mitzi is turning in such a poor performance today.
Oh.
Well, then, Mitzi can serve you, and she will serve you wrong, which serves you right.
Mitzi, huh? How'd you get her to go with you, blackmail? No. I had these 2 tickets to the concert. Oh, yeah, that's right. You gave them to me. And I had no date, so I said to myself, why do you always work so hard to get a date? Why don't you just relax and let life wash over you, you know? The next girl you see, take her to the theater. So I looked up, and there was Mitzi. So I took her. Now, granted, she's not my usual grade A type of girl, but hey, she's okay. I mean, well, she is a girl. I mean, she wore a dress and everything.
Pardon me.
Oh, what's light on yonder window breaks? 'Tis the east, and Mitzi is the sun.
Would you care to place your order now, sir?
Well, sure, yeah, well, I'll have a
what?
I don't know. Look, Mitzi, if you're angry because I kept you out late last night, I'm sorry. I was just having such a wonderful time. I didn't know what time it was.
I assure you, sir, it is of no difference. And I can assure you that it will never happen again.
Well, why not? I don't know. Look, I'd like to go out again, really.
I'm sorry, but my date book is filled way into the future. Now, what do you want to eat?
Why don't you just give my friend some crow, Mitzi?
Yeah, under glass. Roast beef, mashed potatoes, green peas.
I'll have an omelet and a green salad. Boy, you really have a way with women. I gotta hand it to you. You handled that beautifully.
I'm sitting here bleeding, and all you do is tell jokes. Boy, I must have offended her some way. I don't know how, really. I didn't want to.
Yeah, well, it's too bad, too. She seems like a cute kid.
She is. She's a lot of fun, too. But I had a wonderful time last night, really. Calvin, what's wrong with me?
Cliff, I tell you, except we only have an hour for lunch.
No, seriously. Why do I always louse things up with girls? Especially girls I like. Do you think it's a curse of my genius? Do you have that trouble?
Me? You forget, I am a married man.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You wouldn't qualify. Oh, did you leave the machine on?
Yes, I did, and I also locked the door.
Well, what do you know? There really is another guy.
Aunt Vi, dinner was wonderful, but I can't face these greasy dishes.
Harold, if you ever get married, you'll face greasy dishes all the time.
This is cold, crusty lamb grease.
Oh, don't worry. We use Dawn. Watch. Dawn scatters grease. It works hard to break it up, take it away, help keep it away. See? Dawn got the grease. Look what I found by the left seat. Oh, let Mr. Not So Young and Single wash it.
After all those greasy dishes.
Oh.
This one looks as clean as the first. And my hands don't feel greasy. Next week, I'll do the dishes.
Speaking of dishes, you should meet Nancy. She lives right upstairs, and she's single. Dawn takes grease out of your way.
I don't care if you're a real tough customer. I'm going to get you to change toothpastes because of what's in this silver box. It's not because it helps remove plaque. Proper brushing and flossing do that. It's not even because more dentist families have used its cavity-fighting formula than any other toothpaste. You'll change because what's in this silver box does something most toothpastes can't do. Fight ugly tartar. Here's your new toothpaste. Tartar Control Crest. Look, tartar gets so hard it takes your dentist or hygienist and one of these to scrape it off. But you can help keep tartar from coming back between dental visits with Tartar Control Crest. You see, it's really an easy decision. If you have tartar, here's your new toothpaste. Tartar Control Crest.
Taboo by Dana. It all began with an embrace.
Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Taboo. Embrace me, you irreplaceable you. Taboo. My sweet embraceable.
Taboo. An embrace that lives forever in a fragrance.
Taboo.
I'm certainly lucky to be in one of Monticello's most fabulous restaurants with two of its most lovely young ladies. It's what they would call definite riches.
I just came for the flattery. So did I. Actually, my day started out rather routinely, but it seems to be picking up. Must be the company.
Yes, I'm glad we were able to get together. However, my day did not start out routinely. Now, I don't know how ethical it was to call the editor-in-chief of the Monticello Star, but I had a nice long talk with him about their overuse of the Jim Diedrichson story.
Well, now, why wouldn't it be ethical for you to call him? It seems to me you have every right.
Well, he might have thought that I was a little nervy, complaining, because after all, I am the competition. But frankly, I really don't care what he thinks.
Nancy, it was your story to begin with. They stole it from you.
Well, what did you say to him, Nancy? Well, first of all, I said that I thought they used the story to excess. And then I made some lofty remarks about responsible journalism. I was in high dudgeon, quite proud and quite, justified.
Oh, Nancy, you went to all that trouble for me, but you really shouldn't have bothered. I have learned to just ignore the whole thing. I can live with it.
Valerie, I really do think that's the only way to handle it.
And I certainly hope that's the last of the Jim Diedrichson story that
Kelly,
we hear.
Remember our pact?
What pact?
Kelly and I made a deal the other day. We were not going to mention that name anymore. But he seems to have forgotten.
We didn't shake on it.
We did too.
We did not.
I remember. Let's shake on it now, again.
Peace.
Right. Well, I don't think you're going to be annoyed anymore because I'm very happy to say that the editor is a reasonable man. And he agreed with me. And he said that they weren't going to use the story anymore.
Oh, good.
Yeah. He's rather disarming.
Sounds like an all right kind of guy.
Oh, he really is. He really is. He even offered me a job.
What?
Yes, it's substantially more money, I might add, but I didn't accept.
Well, that's a relief.
No, I couldn't leave the news. It's my second home.
Well, anyway, I'm glad that this guy agreed to kill the story. And Val, no matter what you say about this whole thing not bothering you, I'm sure that it must have some kind of effect on you.
Of course, it can't help but have that.
And I don't just mean Mr. Unmentionable. I mean, all the gossip about that tremendous sum of money that you're going to inherit, or the possibility that you would inherit.
Well, I'll just survive that, too.
Maybe. But maybe that's the reason you have a feeling that someone's following you.
What? What do you mean? Well, I noticed it yesterday for the first time, and maybe it's just my imagination, or I am getting paranoid or something.
What did you notice?
Well, I keep seeing this same man. Or I see a person wearing this particular jacket. I saw him outside the theater last night and then again in the park.
Could you describe them?
Well, no, I can't really say what he looks like, but he's always wearing this jacket. It's a checkered jacket, and I don't know, it seems like everywhere I go, I'm just suddenly aware of him being there.
Really? That's very curious.
Well, as I say, maybe it is just my imagination.
Or it could be just some guy trying to get up enough nerve to meet you. And that happens sometimes when there's a whole lot of publicity about someone inheriting a lot of money.
You're right, that's true. Yeah.
Well, now the publicity is stopped, so nobody will be reading about it anymore. And so you won't be getting so much public attention. Oh, thanks, I've had enough.
Do you have our check, please? Can you get a chance? Thank you very much.
It was very good.
So soft towel. Jump in. Sweet smelling sheets. Jump. No cling to most anything. Jump, 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 jump. Bounce for clothes you can't wait to jump into. Jump. Come on in. Jump in. Feel the touch. Jump. You are the one. You feel so good around me. Jump, 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 jump. Bounce for clothes you can't wait to jump into. Jump.
In a small dairy here, they make some of the best cheddar cheese anywhere. Of course, nobody knew that except the folks who lived here. Until...
Hi. I'm from Hickory Farms. I hear you make some pretty good cheese.
Hickory Farms has been to a lot of places to collect unique things for our Christmas gift packs.
Hey, Walt, think we're going to be famous?
Uncle Walt's cheddar and other gifts from Hickory Farms. We've done your Christmas shopping for you.
I'm Charles Schwab. Over 1 million investors who make their own investment decisions trade with us. Here are a few reasons why.
Oh, thanks for the game, John.
Thank you. Hey, and thanks for telling me about that discount broker, Charles Schwab. You were right.
Schwab's commission savings are great, aren't they?
Yeah, but I expected that when I called a discount broker.
I bet you were surprised by Schwab's service.
I sure was. Schwab even executes and confirms my orders before I get off the phone. That's something else.
And they never try to sell you stock. You know, there's no sales pressure.
No sales pressure. Commission savings over 70% and great service. I'm sure glad I called Schwab.
For a free booklet on how you can save up to 76% on brokerage commissions, call 800-445-4500, toll free. That's 800-445-4500. Charles Schwab, a Bank America company, member SIPC.
It's a real mess, Mike, this thing between Gavin Wiley and Jody Travis. It's still the toughest assignment in the book, too, trying to find a runaway, and this time we got 2 of them.
I know it is, Derek. I can think of a dozen cases of fugitives who weren't apprehended for years, sometimes never.
It's not a very cheerful prospect, is it? What do you think it would take to make one or both of them give it all up?
I have no way of knowing, but I do have a strong hunch about these 2 kids.
Yeah, what's that?
I would guess that they've gone through a lot the last few days, and that by now their hearts just aren't in it. I'm sure they realize the odds are against them. I have the feeling that this will all be over very soon.
Well, I hope you're right, but right now they're scared. There's no doubt about that. Being scared, they're liable to do anything or go anywhere. That's why I hope they do the right thing for their own sakes. I wouldn't want to see anybody else get hurt.
Nancy and I were thinking about them last night when we were at the Whitney Dance Theater. They were such an important part of the whole thing. Jody as a performer and Gavin as the choreographer. It's a shame that they couldn't be there to share that success.
Yeah, that was really a big night last night, Mike. Bigger night for Sky Whitney than even he'd imagined, and I don't mean artistically.
What do you mean?
Keep it confidential. I haven't made it public yet, but Whitney Mansion was robbed again last night.
Again? He's becoming a popular target, isn't he?
This time the intruder was successful. Cleaned out the place, mostly jewelry. We, however, weren't so successful. We managed to let him get away, but we do have one advantage.
What's that?
We know who it is, or at least we have a good reason to believe it was a man named Klier Wells.
Collier Wells? Well, I've heard that name before. Oh, that's the man that Damien Tyler's been looking for, isn't it?
Tyler thinks that Klier Wells and Carlo Crown are one and the same.
What? The photographer?
Yeah. Unfortunately, our proof isn't very firm, and his alibi happens to be kind of strong, provided by Mrs. Klier Wells, for what that's worth.
Mrs. Wells?
Martine Duval.
She's married to Klier Wells?
Yeah, but we don't have any photographs, no fingerprints, no identifying data at all on either Wells or Crown, so we're stymied for the moment. Yes. Yes, it's okay. He can come in. Skyler Whitney says it's urgent.
Hello, Chief. Oh, Mr. Carr.
Hello, Mr. Whitney.
I'm glad you're here.
You said this was urgent?
You're damn right it is. You know, that Detective Tyler of yours was right. Wells was responsible for the burglary at my house last night. He had the gall, the colossal gall, to call my house and admit it. Not only that, he said there was some message from me here at police headquarters.
What message?
How the hell do I know?
Well, you must have been sent on a wild goose chase. There's no message here for you from anyone.
You...
Come in.
Sorry for the interruption, Mr. Whitney, but...
Oh, this is my new driver, Spencer Varney. This is Chief Mallory and Mr. Carr.
Gentlemen,
I thought I told you to wait by the car, Spencer.
I thought this important enough to take the liberty, sir. Someone threw this package in the car. I didn't see who it was, and I opened it to make sure it was safe.
Well, what do you know? This is the stuff that was robbed from my house last night.
He sent it all back. I wonder why.
I only wish I knew.
Say, isn't that beautiful? Hey, just the way I like it.
Thank you, Mitzi.
You're welcome, I'm sure.
You're looking beautiful today. Well, considering you didn't get much sleep last night.
Would you care for anything else?
No, thank you, Mitzi. Cliff, why don't you just quit while you're behind?
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't open my mouth except to eat.
I'll be right back, buddy. I have to go satisfy my curiosity. Well, good afternoon.
Hi, Calvin Stoner. This is Julius Newcomb. Julius Calvin.
Well, Mr. Newcomb, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Well, thank you.
Julius, Calvin is in the law business, too. He's a cop.
Aha. Well, then I guess we won't have very many encounters, Mr. Stoner. My specialty is corporate law.
Oh, well, judging from some of the corporate types I've met, Mr. Newcomb, we may very well have that encounter yet.
Would you care to order now?
How about that steak, Dee Dee?
Sounds fine to me.
Well, I won't disturb you any longer. It was nice meeting you.
My pleasure.
Calvin, there's a phone call for you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Stoner here.
It's Gavin. Be quiet. Just listen to me, okay? Don't ask any questions. Believe me, it'll be better for both of us, please. Just answer one.
Okay, what?
Was there an antique pocket watch found on Gunther Wagner's body?
Make a splash, let them know that you know the way to go. Go by canoe, go by canoe.
Make a splash, let them know that you know the way to go.
Go by canoe, go by canoe. Do 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 do.
That outfit looks great.
Thanks, I just washed it.
You've been cheated.
Cheated?
By your detergent. Touch it. Did it soften?
No.
Or control static cling?
What detergent can?
Bold 3 Detergent Plus Fabric Softener has a cupful of detergent, a capful of fabric softener combined in each wash.
Bold 3 really cleans, but my regular detergent can't touch Bold's softness. Even static is under control.
Bold 3 for cleaning with fabric softening no regular detergent can touch.
Did you tell Richard you'd be here?
No.
Well, he's here.
A waiter.
Give it to the gentleman right over there.
I can't seem to forget you. Your wind song stays on my mind.
Windsong Perfume by Prince Machiavelli.
Howard Hughes was one of the wealthiest men in America.
To direct a film takes more than ego or power or self-indulgence.
Jean Harlow was one of the most desirable women.
Penniless girl from the Midwest comes to Hollywood and makes it big. That's what we're selling.
They lived fast, loved hard, and fought to create a Hollywood dynasty. Hughes and Harlow, Angels in Hell, on the USA Movie at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, next Monday.
Look, the only watch found on Gunther Wagner was his wristwatch, and it didn't look anything like an antique to me. I don't know anything about any kind of pocket watch, Gavin.
Are you absolutely sure?
I am positive. And look, when are you gonna get over this disappearing act and get back here and clean this mess up?
Sorry, Calvin, something I gotta do. It's true. There was no pocket watch found on Gunther. It was gone. But somehow it wound up in Sky's house.
But how could it?
I have the vaguest idea. Sky arrived at the studio after the police examined Gunther's body. At least that's what the newspaper said. But how did Sky get it? How?
Gavin, maybe Sky was at the studio. But maybe he was there before the police arrived.
This is the sound that earned them 16 gold records.
What can it mean, Jody? How could a watch in Gunther's pocket wind up in Sky Whitney's bedroom?
I don't know. I don't know. But you said that Calvin swears the only watch found on Gunther's body was his wristwatch, right?
Which means that the pocket watch was removed from the body.
That's the only explanation, then.
Yeah. I didn't take it off his body, Jody. After I shot him, I mean, you don't think I did it, do you?
Come on, of course not.
It's bad enough I'm a homicidal maniac. I don't need you to think that I'm a thief, too.
Stop it! Okay, now, let's be serious, okay? We have to try to figure this out. I mean, it could be very important.
No matter how important it is, it doesn't change what happened, Jody.
Gavin, it means we don't know what happened when you left the dance studio.
Right. One thing we do know is that the next person in there was Miles.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I know, Jody, I know. Miles doesn't go around stealing watches either. How can I be so stupid? Do you remember what Miles said? That someone hit him over the head when he went to go help Gunther?
That's right. Only Sky Whitney made it sound as if he was lying, that he deliberately let Gunther bleed to death.
And maybe the same person who took Gunther's watch hit Miles over the head.
You mean like a thief?
I mean like Sky Whitney.
Oh, Gavin, come on. I don't think that's possible.
If it wound up in Sky's bedroom, it had to get there somehow, didn't it?
I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Come on, Sky stealing Gunther's watch.
It was his watch originally.
Gavin, did you ever think about this? Maybe it's all a mistake. Maybe the watch Martine saw it, and the one her husband stole it. Maybe it's a different watch.
But why would a burglar steal all these things and then give them back?
I don't know, but that's exactly what Collier Wells did. He even sent it to Derek Mallory's office for safekeeping.
Well, I'm just glad that they're back in my hands, all my beautiful jewels.
And mine. Well, don't you see, darling, he wasn't interested in the value of this stuff. He just wanted to prove some stupid point.
Like what?
He wanted to prove that he could burglarize my house. He tried it once before, remember?
In Paris, right?
Yeah. I bet he'll never forget that night. It was the first time that he was ever caught red-handed.
I'll never forget that night either. I think you let him go because you fell in love with his beautiful wife.
I let him go because it amused me.
Well, I'm sure it amused him to rip us off, too. Sweet revenge.
Yeah, sweet revenge is right. He probably thought it was some sort of, I don't know, poetic justice.
There's nothing just about stealing my jewelry.
Yeah. Well, the circumstances were all the same, don't you see? I mean, Martine was dancing for me in the theater. I was there in the theater. And Collier Wells was here in my house.
So you think he had the whole thing planned?
Oh, I'm sure he did. I mean, he wanted to make sure that I recognized his little scheme. He even called me up on the phone to make sure I'd get his point.
Well, he can have his point, just so I have my jewelry.
That is a nice...
Excuse me, Mr. Whitney.
Oh.
I thought this might be a good time to take the car into the garage, unless, of course, you're planning to use it this afternoon.
No, I'm not. That's a good idea, Spencer.
Sky, who is this?
Oh, that's right. Well, you two haven't met. This is Spencer Varney. He's going to be working for us from now on. This is my wife, Mrs. Whitney.
How do you do, Mrs. Whitney?
You know, he's already put himself to good use. You know the green limo, how it's been kind of wobbling? Well, he said it's because
Skyler,
it needs
you know I know nothing about automobile mechanics, nor do I care. I just care that you drive me safely from place to place.
I'm a very good driver, Mrs. Whitney. I'm sure you won't have any complaints. May I take the car, Mr. Whitney?
Yeah, go right ahead, Smith.
Okay.
I do have a complaint.
Well, what's that?
You hired him without asking me.
Well, we needed a replacement for Gunther.
Well, I thought we decided that we were going to decide on that together, and you just barged right ahead and did it.
Well, you spent all morning in bed.
Well, I was upset that someone stole my jewelry. I didn't want to see anybody.
Look, the moment I saw Spencer, I knew he was just what we needed. And when I saw his references, I knew he was exactly what we needed.
Well, I think he's a cold fish.
Well, he's got to be cool in his line of work. And I don't just mean driving either.
What do you mean?
He's more than just a chauffeur. He's a bodyguard. And people like us need protection.
Don't you have sense to stay away from me? Why are you still here anyway? Huh? Why haven't you taken back all those pretty trinkets you stole last night? Or don't you know one of those people anymore? The ones who buy stolen goods?
They are called fences, darling, and I won't have to deal with them because I've returned all the loot.
What?
I sent it back. I sent it all back to Whitney with my compliments.
You're not serious.
Didn't it ever occur to you, Martine, that Skyler Whitney's earthly goods don't mean a thing to me? That the only reason I committed that robbery was for love?
You're completely mad.
I had to set things right, Martine. I had to undo the wrong I did that night in Paris.
The only wrong you know is getting caught.
All right, I admit it. I robbed Whitney out of pride, but I returned everything for a different reason.
And what was that?
To atone. To atone for accepting his offer of freedom, Martine. I should have never done that.
You couldn't help yourself, Carlo. You couldn't face prison. It would be like caging a white bird.
Birds can be very happy in a cage together. Never mind.
Score is even. I've had my fun. Raven has her jewels. Skyler Whitney has his watch. Not to mention a brilliant, beautiful dancer. And we all have what we want, so we can all go our separate ways. You know, it is moments like this that are just perfect for a kiss on the hand. It's gallant, it's touching, and it's not too emotional.
Who says new Liquid Tide cleans some of your toughest stains better than any other liquid? You do. And in nationwide tests, hundreds of you proved it. So did Catherine Frawley of Bel Air, Maryland.
Was and is. This is grass stain. This was grass stain. Liquid Tide took the grass stain right out of this one. Liquid Tide is a better detergent than my liquid is. And it does a much better job. I have the proof in front of me.
You can say new Liquid Tide cleans better because you can see it cleans better. See for yourself.
Ivory's America's favorite soap. My name has come to mean a heritage of purity, a natural kind of clean.
99 and 44 100% pure. It floats. For over 100 years, those words have meant ivory. Today, ivory freshens more complexions and helps more people feel clean, look healthy than any other soap. For a natural and pure kind of clean, one soap still rises to the top. Ivory.
Watch my brother, the Empire State Building, taste Duncan Hines chocolate chip cookies.
You baked chocolate chip cookies. Can I lick the bowl?
I didn't bake them, Eddie. Duncan Hines did.
Check out all that chocolate. Send up the bowl.
For years you baked with Duncan Hines. Now Duncan Hines bakes for you. Chocolate chip cookies with lots of luscious chocolate. You'll love that homemade lick-the-bowl taste.
Look me in the eye and say there's no bowl.
No bowl, Eddie.
Duncan Hines chocolate chip cookies. Duncan Hines bakes with that lick-the-bowl taste.
Put it on. Aviance Night Musk. Put it on. Aviance Night Musk. Aviance Night Musk. Put it on and have an Aviance night.
I hope this doesn't take all afternoon. You know, sometimes I think this is the worst part of the job, and that's testifying at trials.
Yeah, 2 days ago you said that the paperwork was the worst part.
Well, it's all the same thing. I mean, I could be doing something really productive right now.
Like pulling the mask off of Collier Wells, huh?
Okay, I know you don't believe it and I can't prove it, but it's true.
Well, I think the chief believes it, but he's not going to stick his neck out until you come up with some hard facts.
Well, there's no hard facts to come up with. I mean, we don't have any arrests, no convictions, no fingerprints, no mugs. If there's anything we have on Collier Wells, it's someplace in the files of the French Sûreté or one of those outfits.
Yeah, every time we try to run a tracer on Carlo Crown, we come up with a blank, too.
Well, that's because Carlo Crown is a figment of Collier Wells' imagination. I mean, he created a whole new identification for himself. I just can't believe it. That guy's been under our nose all this time.
Yeah, but you weren't looking for Collier Wells. You were trying to nail that Jefferson Brown, right?
Yeah, well, I haven't had any leads on that case either. And we still haven't come up with anything on your friend, Gavin Wiley.
Oh, there was something. Like, I didn't tell the chief about it because I didn't want him to think I was in collusion with Gavin.
What's that?
He called me.
He did?
Yeah, it was a brief call, and he didn't give me any clue as to where he might be found.
Well, what did he say? Did he just call to say hello or something?
No, he asked a real peculiar question. He wanted to know if anybody found a pocket watch on Gunther Wagner's body.
A pocket watch? What do you want to know about a pocket watch?
Well, he didn't tell me.
That's odd. Didn't Dr. Kavanaugh say that Gunther's last words had something to do with a watch?
Yeah, that's true. Damned if I can make any sense out of what it means, though.
Well, well, if it isn't two of Monticello's finest.
Well, hello, Dee Dee. I hope this is not your case that we're testifying for.
Yeah, I hope not either. You know, she makes a mince meat out of police testimony. Didn't I just see you two somewhere? Are you following me around or something?
Lawyers and cops always seem to run into each other, Mr. Stoner.
Oh, look, why don't you just call me detective?
Calvin, don't be hostile.
Hostile? Me? Come on. I was just wondering what a corporate lawyer was doing down here in criminal court.
I just thought I'd walk Dee Dee over, point out how tacky everything is.
Well, we have to keep it tacky. We don't want it too pleasant, otherwise the criminals might want to come back.
It's not too pleasant for lawyers either. Oh, my name is Julius. Julius
Pleased to meet
Newcomb.
you. Damien Tyler.
I'm sorry, I should have introduced you to Damien is Calvin's partner.
It's going to take the two of you to testify in this case?
No, Damien's just sort of hanging out. He likes to come see all the crooks Dee Dee keeps out of jail.
Well, I'm trying to get Dee Dee to change her mind about doing just that.
Well, it sounds like you're on our side.
In fact, I'm trying to convince her to switch to corporate laws.
Really? I hear there's a lot of money in that.
And I think Dee Dee'd be very good at it, too. And there are too few black counselors in corporate law.
Yeah, too few beautiful women.
That's for sure. But I mean it. If you want a piece of the action, you've got to go where the action is. You do agree with me, don't you, Calvin?
Yeah, sounds logical, I guess. I never really thought about it. You know, I figure I do my bit by keeping the bad guys off the street. That's until Dee Dee puts them back out there.
Well, then maybe we'll be doing each other a favor if we can change her mind.
Yeah, maybe.
I've got an idea. Why don't we have dinner together some night? Dee Dee and me, you and your wife.
Julius, I have to meet that client in about 15 minutes. We better hurry.
Right. I'll be calling you on that, Calvin. Nice meeting you, Mr. Tyler.
Yeah, real pleasure.
You're on a packed bus. Someone smiles at you. You ready with your killer smile? I thought I was. Then Gleam showed me. There's white and there's white. See, besides fighting cavities, only Gleam's got a special cleaner, calcium P. Lab tests prove it gets teeth whiter than any gel, polish, any leading fluoride toothpaste in just one little 5-ounce tube. Skeptical? Think about it the next time you smile. Gleam could make the difference between white and white.
Taboo by Dana. It all began with an embrace.
Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Taboo. Embrace me, you irreplaceable you. Taboo. My sweet embrace.
Taboo. An embrace that lives forever in a fragrance.
Taboo.
I'm Charles Schwab. Over 1 million investors who make their own investment decisions trade with us. Here are a few reasons why.
Bill, I got some advice for you. It won't help your golf game, but it'll do wonders for your wallet.
I'm listening, Jay.
I've been buying and selling stock through Charles Schwab.
Schwab, he's a discount broker.
Right. I've been saving 50, 60, sometimes over 70% on commissions.
Well, I've heard of Schwab, but frankly, I've wondered what kind of service I might get from a discount broker.
Schwab will surprise you. I've never had better service or faster trade executions anywhere. And of course, there's no sales pressure.
Well, good. I hate sales calls, and I like to save money. Schwab sounds like my kind of broker.
For a free booklet on how you can save up to 76% on brokerage commissions, call 800-458-6400, toll free. That's 800-458-6400. Charles Schwab, a Bank America company, member SIPC.
Here we are, Nicole. I'm sorry I don't have a red carpet to roll out. Oh, Geraldine, it's fabulous. Well, that's somewhat excessive. I know it's small, but so are all the other executive officers at the station.
I still can't think of myself as an executive.
Well, that's what you are now, my dear. As a matter of fact, I'd say that the job of news director is even more important than my own.
I doubt that, Geraldine.
Well, you know how vital News is to a local station. And certainly you realize that it is the most important source of revenue.
Are you sure you picked the right person?
Oh, I made the right choice, all right. I just hope I'll be forgiven for putting all this burden on your shoulders.
Oh, no, it's a delightful burden and a delightful office. Oh, you haven't met Nora Fulton yet, have you?
No, I haven't. How do you do, Miss Fulton? I'm Geraldine Saxon.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you, Mrs. Saxon.
Nicole tells me you two will be working together.
Yes. I just had Glenn give her a quick tour around the studio so that she could get to find her way around here.
Well, it's a confusing place at first, my dear, but you'll get used to it. For the first few days that I was here, I was afraid to admit that I couldn't find the powder room.
It's a very exciting atmosphere, and I really haven't worked in any place like it.
Mostly in offices, I suppose.
In private homes, actually.
Well, Nora, this is going to be our home at the studio. What do you think?
It's very nice.
Well, as I said, it's rather small, but after all, you'll be spending most of your time in the studio anyway.
Oh, and at home. I still intend to divide my time between the two places, if that's all right with you.
Well, of course, my dear. I don't care, as long as the job gets done. I understand Mrs. Goodman is back with you.
Oh, yes. But unfortunately, she has this bad case of acrophobia. It's not the best thing to have when you live on the 32nd floor.
Oh, dear. Well, I'll let you get acquainted with your new quarters. Oh, I have brought you a tape of your last newscast. It's already in the VCR.
Oh, thank you.
VCR?
Yes. Video cassette recorder. It's this thing right here. I thought the news director should take a long, hard look at the talent.
Oh, I think you'll like what you see, even though you may not enjoy the content. It's about the Gunther Wagner killing.
Oh, yes, I remember.
You've had no word from Jody at all?
No. The only thing we know for sure is that she's with Gavin. And I keep hoping to hear that they're both back.
I'm sorry. Well, I must be going. Good luck to you both.
Goodbye, and thank you, Geraldine.
Mrs. Kavanaugh, do you want me to start looking at this mail? There's a lot of it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a great help, Nora. Thank you. Death in a Dance Studio. That's the headline of tonight's crime story. A story of tragedy involving a young dancer, her choreographer, and the man who allegedly tormented her. Gunther Wagner, chauffeur and general manservant of dance impresario Skyler Whitney, was killed last night in the Wiley Dance Studios, the victim of a gunshot wound apparently received during a struggle between himself and Gavin Wiley.
No, I don't want to see any more people at the moment. No, I have nothing against the press. It's just that I don't give any more interviews. Okay? Yes, I'll call you back. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Martine, are you alone?
Who is this? It's Jody. Martine, I have to ask you a question. Is it all right?
Yes, it's all right. I'm alone.
Okay, look, I told Gavin about Skyler Whitney's watch. It doesn't make any sense to him either.
Well, look, I don't know. All I can tell you is that it was there. I saw it. It's an all-pocket watch with the initials SGW written on the inside of the case.
Okay, but isn't it possible that Sky might have two watches? I mean, maybe he collects them. Some people do that.
I never knew Sky being a collector of anything except women. I haven't seen him since the opening, Judy.
Ask her to look at it again. Describe it as accurately as possible.
Listen, Martine, can you still get your hands on that watch?
No, that's impossible. I'm sorry, dear. Why? Has your husband left town or something? He may have left already, yes.
Well, couldn't you call him? Couldn't you just get one more look at that watch?
Oh, better yet, give us a look at it.
Judy, it's impossible. You see, my husband had a strange attack of conscience or something. What do you mean? He has returned everything. Skyler Whitney has his watch again.
Hey, Angel Face, Patootie, I'm back. Guess what? We're gonna have a party. You know why? I forgot today's my birthday. All you need is love. Come on, man. I want to start without you.
It'll work on your dandruff. I know. I'm just afraid of what it'll do to my hair. Look, if I can trust my hair to it.
Today's Head and Shoulders.
It really does care for your hair.
Tough dandruff protection that works only on your scalp, not your hair. Gentle conditioners go there.
Work on your dandruff? That I expected. But this is incredible.
Today's Head and Shoulders. Dandruff care that's good for your hair.
Sometimes I wonder if it's worth it, all this fussing.
Ed McPeak. We grow the best blueberries in Maine. Whole county says so.
Somehow, that's not enough.
Hickory Farms has been to a lot of places to collect unique gifts for Christmas.
Hi, I'm from Hickory Farms. Heard about your blueberries.
Wild blueberry preserves and other gifts from Hickory Farms. We've done your Christmas shopping for you.
Feel better?
Will do.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Scrabble people teaches me.
Meet Scrabble people. Each one holds a letter, so when you link them together, they spell words.
Cat.
And the longer kids play, the longer words they make. It's a construction toy.
Ooh.
It's a playset. It's a learning tool.
Now it spells scat.
Scrabble People playsets from Cell Show and Writer.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Scrabble people teaches me.
Make a splash, let them know that you know the way to go. Go by canoe, go by canoe. Make a splash, let them know that you know the way to go. Go by canoe, go by canoe. Do 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 do.
Let me do that, Mr. Whitney.
Oh, fine. Well, thank you, Spencer. I appreciate a man who takes initiative.
A splash of soda and 2 lumps of ice. That's the way my hubby likes it.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, I believe you will, Spencer. You strike me as someone who's got quite a good memory.
I also know how to forget things, Mr. Whitney. That can be an important quality as well.
Yes, it certainly can.
I'm sure your previous employer admired that about you.
Yeah, I imagine it couldn't have been terribly easy working for your previous employer. What's his name? Bowie. As I understand it, he spent the last 3 years evading extradition on tax evasion charges. Is that correct?
See if that's the way you like it, Mr. Whitney.
That's just fine. Well, is that the reason that he traveled so much?
I believe it was one of the reasons.
Were there others?
I heard he was a crook. No offense, Spence.
I'm sorry, I really don't know.
Well, you just passed your test, Spencer.
Pardon?
Well, you really do forget things, even about former employers.
There's not much point in remembering, Mr. Whitney, when a man is dead.
Oh, that's right. He had a heart attack, didn't he?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, and rumor has it that if he didn't die of a heart attack, someone or some person unknown might have done it for him. As I understand it, he was in trouble with financiers of a particular type. Is that right?
I couldn't say, sir.
Oh, come on, Spencer. Give us a little gossip.
You know, someone like Mr. Bowie would be in need of someone other than just a driver. It'd probably need somebody pretty handy with a gun.
I don't carry a gun, Mr. Whitney.
But you were his bodyguard.
Yes, sir. I was.
Well, you know, Spencer, people of means need protection. That's one of the jobs that our former chauffeur did for us.
Gunther didn't carry a gun.
No, but he was big and strong and intimidating, and that was enough.
Well, would you object to the idea of doing more than just driving?
No, sir. You can count on me for everything.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
And right now, sir, I think I'd better see if the car is ready at the garage. Will you excuse me?
Certainly, Spencer. So, what do you think of my choice?
Oh, he's all right. I still think he's a cold fish, but he's an improvement.
Yeah. Yeah, that's strange.
What?
Well, he referred to Gunther by his first name. He also seemed to know that he never carried a gun.
Damn. Martine had that thing right in her hands. Now it's gone. Now we'll never know.
There is one way we could find out.
What's that?
Well, we could go to the police.
And do what? Tell him our theory? I don't think so, Jody.
Gavin, it might be very important to prove that Sky was at the dance studio before the police arrived.
But how, Jody? We don't even know ourselves. Maybe that watch that Gunther showed you was a different watch altogether.
Well, then where is it? The only watch found on Gunther's body was the wristwatch. That means somebody had to steal the pocket watch.
Only if Martine's husband hadn't given it back.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. If only I could have got another look at it, just to make sure it was the same watch Gunther had.
Maybe there is a way we can have another look at it.
How?
We could do what Collier Wells did. Burglarize the Whitney mansion ourselves.
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find. Always on my mind. And frustrated days pass without sight. The edge of night, half dark, half light. Do you think we might wake up someday and be aware of all the games people play? Living circles of our land.
In just a minute, you're going to find out how you can get this terrific